1991, there were about 8.5 million taxpayers. In 96-97, they went up to 12 million, which is about 50% increase. And today they have crossed 30 million. Because number of taxpayers was growing exponentially, one, you cannot increase the manpower in that ratio. Two, in any case, manual systems have their own inefficiency, which can only be avoided or reduced by bringing in better managed information technology based systems.
The issuance of PAN cards has been successful, and what does that mean? That translates directly into a remarkable increase in the number of registrations. And the management of such a huge taxpayer base, therefore, is a challenge. And again, computerization comes back through as an instrument to deploy and in an optimal way.
Ever since we have done that, the PAN service has become very efficient. It is very easy to get PAN. Once you apply, within 15 days, the card is delivered to your address. Application can be made online. Inquiries about the status of the application can be made on the website or through Aikar Sampark Kendra.
I'm planning to buy a property. So for property, I suppose PAN card is a basic necessity. So I just went online, I just filed my application on the site, and I got my PAN card in 7 days.
I applied for the card last year in May 2005. It had been 1 year this May that I was waiting for the card, and then I finally got to know from one of my colleagues that I can call these people, the call center guys, and I called them, and I got the card really fast within 10 days.
So I was planning to invest in the share market. Somebody advised me it is better nowadays to go in the share market. Then to open the DMAT account, I need a PAN card, which I was not aware of. Then I applied to the agencies and I got PAN card within, say, 7 days.
The benefit of introducing information technology in the department is not only going to improve the efficiency of the work processes and therefore the people in the department, it also is being used to provide services to the taxpayers so that they can comply with the tax laws easily. We are even training a set of people who will be called tax return preparers, and they will help small and medium taxpayers prepare their returns and file it on their behalf. Then we are also looking at online receipt of applications or returns of income, and sending the refunds through electronic clearing systems. So that is how the taxpayer services will be improved.
Coming to the second group of issues, which is the taxpayer services, taxpayer friendliness, the major instrument has been OLTAS and the TIN, Tax Information Network. Let us take one component of it, which is TDS, which earlier on was extremely complicated. Now what happens is simply that in 12,000 branches of banks all over the country, the TDS amount has to be paid in. That amount is entered into the accounts of the banks and then sent on immediately, passed on to the National Treasury.
The cumbersome process of filling up 4 challans has ended. Number 2, he can now view his tax payments. We have provided a facility for him to, on the internet, he can within 4 days of his payment of his taxes, he's been given a SIN number, a challan identification number by the bank, and by putting in these details on the website, he can come to know whether or not his amount has been credited to his account or not. Earlier, like, he had no control. The only evidence he had was that counterfoil slip.
The total transaction time, which was normally 15 days plus, now it has come down to specifically transaction plus 3 days, T plus 3, which we call popularly. And government is getting the funds for its developmental activity, and we are also relieved of reconciliation work using the computers. We find the transcription errors are minimized or almost eliminated.
It generates a unique identification number as well. So with that number we can track all of our payments with government treasury. That can be attached with a return of income which is required to be filed up at the end of the year. and no scrutiny is required later on because the department can verify online this their payment.
पहले एक फॉर्म जमा करने के लिए 4-4 कॉपीज हमें भरनी पड़ती थी और अगर 4-5 फॉर्म जमा करने हैं तो 20-25 कॉपियां भरनी पड़ती थी, तो हमारे हाथ ही दुख जाते थे। अब चूंकि यहाँ इस बैंक के अंदर, इसी हाउस के अंदर ओल्टा सिस्टम कहते हैं कि यूज किया गया है, तो उससे हमें बहुत ही बढ़िया सर्विस और सफिशिएंट सर्विस और मेरा काम बहुत जल्दी हो गया यहाँ पर।
Earlier we were filing only one return after the end of the year, but now we have to file 4 returns in a year on quarterly basis. So there are less chances of committing mistakes. Since the returns are filed online, the returns are supposed to be revalidated. If there is any mistake, it is corrected at the time of filing the return itself. You don't have to run to the department for making the corrections.
There are about 500 tin FCs. To where you have to, the deductor, he need not come to the income tax office any longer. He can file his electronic TDS return at these tin FCs for which acknowledgement is given. So these data, the TDS data is also comes and resides at tin, from which we also download the data for our internal processing. In Oltas we get the information faster, quicker, much from before. That is for the income tax department. Then for the government of India also, similarly, there's a direct benefit. We come to know our tax collections immediately. And also we have introduced electronic clearance system of refunds.
I would therefore envisage complete taxpayer satisfaction on the one hand and tax administration facility in terms of reasonable resources given the total size of the manpower, facilitation in terms of the infrastructure, the environment, where we can offer a modern tax administration to our customer who is the taxpayer. So if we have this kind of a relationship, a business relationship, that a customer-entrepreneur sort of relationship, that is what I would be looking out for.